In this video, Professor Reese introduces objectives 6 through 9. Objective number 6 is describe how incarceration facilities are structured, organized, and administered by the government in the United States. 7. Name some of the common types of correctional facilities in the U.S. 8. Identify some of the procedures that institutions employ to maintain security and order. 9. List the services and programs that commonly are available to inmates. In the United States, correctional institutions operate across federal, state, and local levels. Let's start by looking at the federal system. Let's take a look at the Federal Bureau of Prisons, BOP. The BOP manages federal prisons and District of Columbia felons, classifying facilities by 4 security levels: minimum, low, medium, and high, along with special supermax sites and complexes serving different missions. Newly sentenced offenders are sent to classification centers to assess security risk and program needs. Inmates are regularly reassessed, and short-term stay facilities exist for this process. Each state coordinates adult prisons through a Department of Corrections, generally following a quasi-military model. Security levels are typically maximum, medium, or minimum, with most prisons housing male inmates. Maximum security: high external and internal security, often using walls or fencing and guard towers. Supermax: specialized units or prisons with extreme security measures. Medium security: moderate restrictions. Mixed cell and dormitory setups allow greater movement. Minimum security: smaller, more open, for inmates with good behavior or nearing release, often without fences. Each state coordinates adult prisons through a Department of Corrections, generally following a quasi-military model. Security levels are typically maximum, medium, or minimum, with most prisons housing male inmates. Maximum security: high external and internal security, often using walls or fencing and guard towers. Supermax: specialized units or prisons with extreme security measures. Medium security: moderate restrictions. Mixed cell and dormitory setups allow greater movement. Minimum security: smaller, more open, for inmates with good behavior or nearing release, often without fences. A lockup refers to a short-term holding facility, usually accommodating individuals for 24 to 48 hours, and often situated near or within urban police departments for temporary detention during ongoing investigations or legal proceedings. A jail is a facility used to detain both convicted individuals and those awaiting trial for relatively brief periods. Jails perform a broad role in the criminal justice and correction systems due to the requirement to house various individuals, including those who may pose significant safety and security risks. Local tax resources are primarily allocated for custody and security measures. Between 1982 and 2008, the population of local jail inmates in the United States increased from 209,582 to 785,533, representing an approximate 275% rise. Following the peak in 2008, the number of local jail inmates declined by 5.1% by the end of 2017. Many jails in the country are older structures that experience challenges such as overcrowding, limited inmate programs and services, staffing shortages, and substandard living conditions. The earliest jails, dating to the 18th century, featured a linear design where inmates were housed together in cells, dormitories, or communal areas known as tanks. Second-generation jails appeared in the 1960s, while third-generation, also called New Generation or Direct Supervision jails, were introduced in the late 1970s. Security is essential for order within institutions. Procedures regulate daily life for staff and inmates. Those at risk may be placed in protective custody, while dangerous individuals can be assigned to administrative segregation. While some prisons allow private conjugal visits, most visits occur in supervised settings. Institutions rely on informants for security intelligence. Staff respond to inmate infractions with warnings or disciplinary actions, which can include loss of privileges, solitary confinement, or transfers. Institutions provide basic needs like food, shelter, and health care. Recreational facilities are available, and special populations, elderly, mentally ill, and those with infectious diseases, require additional support. Mental health and substance abuse issues are prevalent, though treatment access remains limited. Rehabilitation programs vary and may include self-improvement, work, education, and therapy. Work programs typically involve institutional maintenance or factory tasks. Inmates are not paid standard wages and few acquire transferable skills. The PIE program allows limited private sector employment at prevailing wages, but engages less than 1% of inmates. UNICOR offers marketable skills to federal inmates with about 8% participation. Educational offerings focus on GED preparation and vocational training, catering to inmates' academic deficits. Technology use in these programs is growing but limited. Counseling and therapy are widespread, notably cognitive behavioral therapy and crisis intervention, provided individually or in groups. Milieu therapy seeks positive change through the overall environment. There is debate over offering advanced technical training to inmates due to fairness concerns. The less eligibility principle holds that inmates should not receive better services than law-abiding citizens. Experts recommend teaching coping and adjustment skills to prepare inmates for reintegration.